Well, here we are again. Hope you guys are all doing well, because I'm definitely not. We're gonna be playing Loki. Actually, we're not playing anything. We're gonna be doing Loki builds. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for Loki builds, and you guys have waited pretty long. I appreciate that. Many people have been wondering what to build on Loki, like damage, tank, troll, memes, like bluestone pendant, or like which roles Loki is superior in: solo, jungle. What about mid, ADC? What about
support?
We're gonna discuss all of these questions and topics in this video.
Friends, don't fret. I'm not here to trick them. I'm here to kill them.
No, you're not, because you can't actually kill anyone. And if that didn't really hint the purpose of Loki, then I don't know what is. I know a lot of you guys may not like the idea of building pure tank Loki, but it's really the best way to play Loki. But I'm not just gonna give you one build for tank and just call it over, because that'd be pretty toxic and scummy to do so, which means I should probably do that. Yeah, I probably will. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all Loki and all players next time. Peace. Are they gone yet? Okay, fine. There's essentially 4 ways to play Loki. The first way is, okay, so the first step you want to do is you want to go to your Steam library, you want to right click Smite, you want to go to manage, and you want to go uninstall. The second way to play Loki is essentially going split pushing. Now this is for solo lane, so keep that in mind. At level 1, you just want to get Chalice, 5 multi potions. Starter could be either Bluestone or Warrior's Axe. Warrior's Axe preferably, since it's obviously better. You then get Boots, Transcendence, Hydras, Dominance, Serrated, Berserkers, and Crusher. As for Relics, you want to go Teleport and then into Frenzy, which is going to be your second Relic. Teleport because, you want to teleport behind the enemy lines and backstab and backdoor all their Phoenixes and Titans. Frenzy for the obvious reasons that you just deal more damage to objective. It's just really pretty much a pure split pushing build, scumbag, no team fighting. The third way to build Loki is the primary way to play and build Loki, which is the old pure defense build. The fourth way to build Loki is more of the kind of the same thing as the second way to play Loki. You either go Bluestone or Warrior's Axe. You then go into Boots, Transcendence, Hydras, Dominance, Heartseeker. You sell Warrior's Axe for Titan's Bane. For those who are wondering what you should replace Boots with this build, if you look at your stats here, you have basically maxed penetration, so anything that gives you more penetration is a no-no. Our cooldown right now is actually 20%, which isn't a lot at all. Because this is Loki solo, with blue buff you should always have at least 30% cooldown with this build, which is why it's a specifically Loki solo build. You can go Erendite late game, which gives you the 40% cooldown with Power Potion. Or you can do something that I like to do now, which is go Bloodforge. Now, if you're wondering, but that's really bad on Loki because you only have 20% cooldown. That's actually not true. If you go Bloodforge, you have to be stuck with the blue buff for the whole game. Essentially, you go blue buff and Power Potion, and you get 40% cooldown. Here, let me show you. And now with this build, even though I don't have max CDR with my build, I still have 40% cooldown thanks to Power Potion, which gives me 10%, and the blue buff, which gives me also 10%. Some of you guys may be wondering, like, what about jungle? I strongly suggest not playing Loki jungle at all, because Loki jungle is just not as good as everyone likes to think it is, and nor will it ever be as long as Ajax doesn't want to actually make Loki a jungler. Loki may clear decently well, not amazing, but decently well in the jungle, because his 3 basically kills an entire camp, but has like an incredibly long cooldown, so it's just, you can't really ricochet off of the camps. But his everything else is pretty bad. His ganking is really bad because you can just hear his laugh, so you have to stealth very far away and then blink in, which again is just not great. Or you have to, of course, ult in, but we all know that ulting in as Loki is just basically signing your death warrant. And because late game, you just can't kill anyone. They all group up, they have shells. Like, what are you going to do as Loki? You're just going to do absolutely nothing. Loki was never and never will be a jungler. But because I'm a benevolent person, I'll give you guys a jungle build anyways. So the starter you want to get is Boomba's Dagger. I'm not too sure about Mannequin Scepter. The problem with Mannequin Scepter isn't the damage, it's the fact that it doesn't give you healing when you do when you kill jungle camps. That's the reason why I'm not getting Mannequin Scepter. And also because it's blatantly overpowered, it's obviously going to be nerfed over and over and over and over and over, so I'm real good on that. Basically, the way to start with Loki jungle is you just do the speed buff with your soul laner, then you go to the 3 harpies and you hog the 3 harpies, and you go to the 2 harpies, kill them, and then you go do your blue. That's the way to play Loki jungle right now. After that, you want to go into warrior Tabi, obviously. The second item you should get, it really depends on the enemy team. Do they have healers? If so, get brawlers. If not, get Yone's Wrath. Or if you're really confident and you're like 2 kills ahead or something like that, you can go Crusher for that bigger snowball. But most of the time, you're going to get Yone's Wrath. After this, again, you have another choice. You guys can probably tell the pattern by now, but it really just depends on what the enemy is and what they're building. Do they have strong heals, but not too strong, where you just absolutely need to rush brawlers? Then this is probably a good time to get brawlers. If you're ahead and you want to snowball more, you can go again and get Crusher. If you just want to get 30% cooldown and rely less on mana problems, then of course you get Hydras, because it still gives you a lot of damage, but not as much as Crusher, because, you know, Loki early on is more ability based and auto based, so the most auto cancels you're probably going to get is just 2. Because in the early game, no one can 100 you as quickly as late game, you can actually afford to use your entire channel in your 3 in most situations early on. After this, you want to go into Dominance, or whatever else you didn't pick. For the last slot here, you actually have choices. If the enemy team is very, very tanky, like a Zhong Kui, or they have like 3 warriors or something, you can go into Timesbane for that early just pen rush. Or if they're more squishy and you just want to kill people more, you want to go Heartseeker, because Heartseeker is never a bad item. You then sell Boomba's Dagger to get Timesbane, and you sell Boots. If you've gotten Yone's Wrath and Hydras, then you have 30% cooldown, which means your last item for Boots shouldn't be a cooldown item, because a Power Potion gives you 10% cooldown, and you don't want to overcap. So in other words, things like Erendite, Soul Eater, or really or like Transcendence are obsolete here. Your choice can be probably Bloodforge, which is what I'm going to go with, because not only does it give you some form of sustain, not really relevant sustain, but it's because of the passive. Loki desperately needs the survivability late game, because if he gets 1 kill, hopefully he can get like that 400 or whatever shield he gets to maybe take 1 auto to get out, which is again very important. You also get movement speed, which is pretty nice. Or if you made the mistake of not getting any anti-heal in the early game for some bloody reason, then you can obviously get brawlers. This is probably the overall best build for Loki right now, simply because it gives you everything that you need. It gives you 30% cooldown, mana sustain, max penetration, and it also gives you anti-heal. For your star items for Loki jungle, really depends on the enemy team. Again, Loki jungle is really much depend on X. That's the summary of the Loki build. If it's a Fenrir jungle or Fenrir support or something absurd like that, you obviously want to go beads. But if they don't really have a lot of CC, or if they have like a Giannis or someone who has a lot of escapes or high mobility, then you could probably go blink to basically just chase them. The smart start though is beads into blink. And now we have fallen into the meme territory. There's really only one meme build that you can really do, and a lot of people like to think that it's not a meme build, but it really is, because it ruins your early game and it just makes you completely useless. It's for people who are hardcore stuck with the old ways of playing Loki, like people like me, basically. If you're playing Loki solo, just do the typical start of, you know, Health Chalice and 5 multis and whatever, Blue Stone or Warrior's Axe. You would then go into Warrior Tabi, Transcendence, Hydra's Lament, into Rage, Malice, Deathbringer, sell Boots, and wait, Serrated Edge. This build basically gives you the old ways of playing Loki, where you just go invisible and auto cancel people to death in less than 2 seconds. Is it good? No, because you're just relying on an RNG, which is something you should never do as Loki, really. If you're playing Loki solo, it's probably better because, you know, the first 20 minutes you don't do anything. So this is obviously a Loki solo build. You should never do this in the jungle or really anywhere else. Okay, so that's really about it. Wait, what? What's this? There's another item. Wait, what item?
It's over there, bro.
It's here? Where? Oh yeah, it's not. It's gone.
You need to shut the fuck up.
There is one thing I technically missed, which is the Hidden Blade, the upgraded form of Mannequin Scepter. I tested both Crusher, Brawlers, and Bloodforge, the last items you should get for Loki jungle, and they all do pretty much the same damage and not notable any differences. The main difference between those 4 items really is the fact that the passives are different. I believe Crusher is more useful since you're benefiting the attack speed of Loki, and as well as Brawlers gives you the anti-heal, which is more beneficial, and of course Bloodforge, which gives you the shield, so after you kill someone you get to have more sustain. Hidden Blade does give you a lot of DPS, and it probably deals more damage to tanks, but you're not really focusing tanks. So when you're attacking squishies, they basically do all the same damage, so That's just a little heads up. Please enjoy me killing this Neath as a tribute to our Loki Lord and Savior. And I'll see you guys all Loki Knowledge players next time.